Beginning in April, you will have the opportunity to vote on 2 propositions that affect Humble ISD students, teachers, and our community. A Citizens Bond Advisory Committee met from September to December to discuss possible bond projects. In February, the Humble ISD Board of Trustees called for a bond election. Some of the goals of Bond 2022 are to enhance safety, manage growth, make capital improvements to existing campuses, and provide learning opportunities for all students, including those who live in established neighborhoods as well as those who live in new neighborhoods. All while preserving general funds for teacher raises by having Bond 2022 funds available to pay for capital expenses. Humble ISD continues to be a fast growth district. This school year alone, Humble ISD has seen an increase of more than 2,700 students. Humble ISD is expected to continue to grow as new subdivisions are developed and more homes are built. Our last bond referendum was in 2018. All Bond 2018 projects have now been completed, are under construction, or are under contract. Bond 2022 has several projects planned to help with continued growth. A new middle school will be built, bringing the number of seats available to middle school students up to meet the projected enrollment. A classroom addition at Summerwood Elementary would accommodate increased student enrollment and allow the district to make boundary adjustments to balance out enrollments among schools in this area. Summer Creek High School will receive an additional 40 classrooms, more dining spaces, new designated areas for freshmen, and more parking. Phase 1 of Humble High School's Growth and Renewal Program is currently underway. Phases 2 and 3 complete the process and provide a number of renovations and expansions. Bond 2022 also provides for the replacement of 3 campuses: Foster Elementary School, Ross Sterling Middle School, and a new permanent Mosaic program building which would serve students with disabilities aged 18 to 22, as well as provide space for special education support staff members. Other campuses would be renovated and updated. Key elements of high school renovations are renovating fine arts areas to enhance instructional and practice space for band, choir, and orchestra. New career and technical education labs for health science technology and veterinary medicine. Adding outdoor fitness areas, including obstacle courses for JROTC, and adding turf on baseball and softball fields. Middle school updates, renovations, and expansions include adding a practice gym to schools that were originally built with 1 gym. This would bring our older middle schools up to the same standard for gyms as our newer middle schools. Adding a dance classroom with mirrors, a dance floor, and a sound system to every middle school. New career and technical education labs for STEM and culinary. Adding windows and skylights to bring in natural daylighting, and adding outdoor fitness equipment for PE. The community would be permitted to use this middle school equipment outside of school hours. Elementary school updates, renovations, and expansions include replacing or adding to elementary playgrounds. The new playground equipment would be focused on imaginative play and learning. The new equipment would be installed on handicapped accessible ground coverings instead of mulch. Each school's playground would have a unique theme, and the district intends to publish a map of themed playgrounds for the community's use outside of school hours. Windows and skylights would also be added to bring natural daylighting indoors. Bond 2022 also includes funding for capital improvements like replacing roofs, chillers, and buses, a child nutrition work area renovation, and $45 million in funding for technology. A question we often hear is Bond 2022 going to make my taxes go up? No. Humble ISD plans to keep its interest in sinking, or INS, tax rate at 35 cents, the same it has been since 2008. However, due to growth and rising property values, Humble ISD projects the 2022 overall tax rate will decrease by 2 cents. In compliance with the new state law, the words "This is a property tax increase" must appear on all school district bond propositions. However, while these words appear on all ballots, the Humble ISD Board of Trustees has stated publicly that the INS tax rate will remain the same, 35 cents. Another question we often hear is, if Bond 2022 is not approved by voters, will the portion of the tax rate that is used to pay for bonds be decreased? No. If Bond 2022 does not pass, Humble ISD projects that there would be no immediate change in the INS tax rate because the district is required to continue making payments to service our previous bonds. A third question that is asked is, how does Bond 2022 affect teacher raises? By law, bond funds cannot be used for raises. But when a district has bond funds available, expenses such as air conditioners and roofs can be paid for out of those bond funds. When a district does not have bond funds available, all expenses must be paid for out of the district's general fund or from other sources. This depletes these revenue sources, leaving less money available for all other expenditures. Approximately 85% of the general fund is allocated to salaries and benefits. Bond funds preserve general funds for teacher raises because capital improvements can be paid out of bond funds instead of the general fund. On the ballot, there will be two propositions. Proposition A is authorizing Humble ISD to issue up to $730 million in school bonds for facilities and buses. Proposition B is authorizing Humble ISD to issue up to $45 million in school bonds for technology. Technology items with a shorter useful life are financed with shorter-term bonds in compliance with state law. When you vote on the Humble ISD propositions, you can also vote on two statewide constitutional propositions designed for property tax relief. Humble ISD's bond plan to maintain or lower the current tax rate takes into account the possibility of the homestead exemption being increased from $25,000 to $40,000 if the statewide constitutional amendment passes. Early voting will be held from Monday, April 25th to Tuesday, May 3rd. Election Day is Saturday, May 7th. For more information, visit humbleisd.net/bond2022.